at success, we can also be hindered by success by what we read. And if you look at the concept of a self-fulfilling prophecy, a self-fulfilling prophecy, I highlighted the key ones here, which makes the original false conception come true, and it's a reign of error. So when you think about a lot of times, and we talked about, Moira talked about fear and how we stop ourselves, a lot of times that's also by, sort of the input that we get from other things. So when we look at the media and the headlines, we have things like this. Fewer women represented in the C-suite of Fortune Global 100 companies in the Boardroom Study finds. Why do fewer women succeed in math? Both of us being science people, and this was not long ago. This was 2009. Okay. Then of course, like I think a couple of months ago, there was a study that came out saying, well, girls are actually better in math if you put them in a certain, and it's like, but that one got, 5th page, and this one got front. This one, women working in the city paid 60% less than men. That's from London, England, in the financial sector. Then we have, this is where you get, okay, then we have Harvard Business Review. Women are judged to be less visionary than men in 360-degree feedback. It may be a matter of perception. Now, I don't know who they interview, but personally, I think actually women are significantly visionary. But the fact is, it's about perception, and perception is reality.
Yeah.
Then this is one of my favorites. This was in September of 2008. McKinsey, one of the top consulting companies, wrote a white paper, a business case for women. Why women should be put into senior corporate roles, and how the financials of corporations end up being better. This was September 2008. I've never seen anywhere where they wrote a business case for men. Why did they have to write one for women? So when you look at this sort of thing that we're constantly inundated, young women as well, it's sort of the question of, why do we even bother? I'm sort of stuck to begin with. And it becomes that self-fulfilling prophecy that, well, if it's in the paper, it must be true.
Okay. One of the things that is constant is that we do need others. We need others to provide us with signposts along the way. We need the help of others. So, if you think...
Okay, can you do it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Are you challenged?
No, not challenged. If you think about other people's success, many people seem to think that successful people just magically arrived there. They didn't have, hardships, they didn't have obstacles. At least they spend a lot of time sort of wishing they were there, but they never really sort of consider how the people got there. And to counteract this whole self-fulfilling prophecy, what Patricia and I did was we reached out to trailblazing women across the globe. And we asked them if they would like to contribute the one piece of advice that they had either uncovered, discovered, or been given somewhere along the way that they felt would make women look at the possibilities. And so we also took their one pieces of advice that they contributed, and we framed their stories around them, the stories of their lives, so as to put the one piece of advice into context. There was one moment where we were going down the lists, and we had purchased the latest International Women's Who's Who. And quite honestly, Patricia and I thought we were pretty plugged in when it came to women and the success and their accomplishments. And so we were reading this list, and almost simultaneously we turned to each other and we said, "Who knew?" And it was such a revelation about all these amazing women out there with all of their accomplishments, and we had certainly never heard of them, so we're assuming that the rest of you probably haven't either. And so what that was it led us to sort of speculate on why that is actually. And so, you know, it's a known fact that women are much more content to go about their business without any fanfare, without any media attention, without any sort of being in the spotlight. And so there's a wonderful quote from Virginia Woolf that went, "Throughout history, anonymous has always been a woman."